But of course it's the cost of everything, of running an electric wheelchair, the bed. I also have sleep apnea, so I have to have a CPAP machine which runs all night. Some days, do I want to go on like this? You know, do I want another 10 years of this? Hi, my name's Sheila. I'm 67 years old, and I was a deputy head for a couple of years before I got cancer and took early retirement. I first was diagnosed in 2002 with breast cancer, and I had a lumpectomy, radiotherapy and chemotherapy, and then I was clear for 14 years, and then it came back again, so I had a mastectomy. Then after that I started having a few visual problems, and the one night I fell backwards and hit my head in the bathroom, and paramedics were called. They took me into hospital and they found I got a brain tumour. And when they examined it, it was breast cancer, but had gone to the brain. And I've also got this awful condition called inclusion body myositis, which it's an autoimmune disease which affects the muscles, particularly in my legs and my arms. So I'm barely walking now. I use the electric wheelchair to get around most of the time, outside. But around the house I use the Zimmer frame, but for how much longer I don't know I'm going to be able to do that. The cancer will kill me, the brain cancer will kill me. But it's not being able to do anything because my legs are getting worse. And so that has a big effect on my life. You know, up till 2 years ago I was driving. Can't drive now. So I'm stuck in four walls. Some days, do I want to go on like this? You know, do I want another 10 years of this? Because, you know, once I can't stand and walk a bit, it's going to have to put a lot of pressure on my family. And, you know, getting carers in and things like that. I lost my husband 15 years ago. He collapsed and died on a bus. So that was a bit of a shock. So it hasn't been an easy time, you know. I've had back surgery as well. Got pins in my back. So, I mean, everybody says how strong you are and how well you look, and they don't see the other side of it. But of course it's the cost of everything, of running an electric wheelchair, the bed. I also have sleep apnea, so I have to have a CPAP machine which runs all night. Because I spend most of my time here. I have the telly on all the time, and, you know, the heat, well, I don't normally put the heating on. I put a blanket over me because, you know, the effect of the cost of heating. And sometimes when I go to the hospital, of course, it's very difficult to get taxis that will take electric wheelchairs. So my son has to take me in my manual wheelchair, and that's £8.50 each way every time I go, you know. So all that builds up, you know, and you do worry about money, and you worry more, you become more anxious. That impacts on doctors then, you know, and it doesn't do the conditions I've got very much. It makes the conditions worse. I mean, and that's what will happen, is that I'll get worse, you know, and not enjoy the life I've got left.
And how does that make you feel?
Miserable. The only thing I get is PIP.
What's
It's personal independence payment. I get the higher rate of mobility and I get the higher rate of care.
Did you get the cost of living payment for people with disabilities? I think was it £150?
Yes, I got that. I got that a few months ago.
Would you say that it was enough?
I didn't even touch the sides. And then there's another one, isn't it? The winter fuel payment's due, isn't it? In the next month or so. Well,
Do you think they make a difference?
No. I mean, it's just like a drop of water in a pond, really. It concerns me, the amount of people that you see on the television and I talk to that aren't as fortunate as myself. I mean, it does worry me how, especially the elderly and the disabled, how they're going to cope over a hard winter. My message to Richie Sunak would be, take a good look at the country and what's important to the working class people and pensioners and disabled people, and have some empathy with them and reconsider how you're going to tackle the problem, the cost of living, because this winter could see a lot of people die, and the mental effects of all this is going to have a long-lasting legacy, if you like, and that should get off his backside and do something about it. You know, I mean, it's all very good, all this talk, but action needs to be taken now.